Just gonna. Hey Bruno, how are you?
Computers.
Thank you for joining, Bruno. We have Jackson with us, our sales rep, and I got Bruno's
Turn on.
the two wrong wells, Jackson. So one of the wrong wells is Bruno. So hey Bruno, can you hear us?
Hey, Rome. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. Thank you guys for jumping in real quick. So, Bruno, Jackson is
Uh,
going to be helping us sell whatever the kind of agents that we build, plus our Freedom Fusion System CRM and Threat Stack Digital Power Bundle. Can you work together with Jackson to set him up with email? So this way he has email access and basically and give him access to Freedom Fusion System CRM as well. And so this way he could start what Jackson is doing, he's doing YouTube channel and he's constantly playing video games and promoting us in a process. So the way it works is he promotes us. If he refers somebody, then he'll make money by what he does. He sends people to our page, freedomfusionsystem.com. And when somebody registers fills out a form from intro form, they gonna get they will basically pick Jackson, and what's gonna happen next is he's gonna get the credit as soon as as soon as we get this customer, as soon as we onboard this customer. I quickly wanted to show the presentation just to kind of show you the what exactly Jackson is gonna be selling and helping us with. Let me go ahead and pull the presentation over here just so you guys fully aware for how to do this quickly. And then of course I'll leave you together with Jackson to set up the email. So this is essentially what uh, we are selling. So we have Freedom Fusion System, our talent agency, and this talent agency hyper focuses on providing all sorts of automation solutions and services. And as you could probably see, guys, on the bottom, you see me literally transcribing automatically. That's pretty cool, right? That's the Microsoft function of captions, where anything I say automatically gets transcribed on the bottom. It's an automatic feature and it just enhances the whole experience. So without further ado, let me just kind of break it down what Jackson is going to be focusing on selling and how we all going to be making money from this and how we helping moms over 40, that kind of stuff. So the most important here, guys, is we want to maximize the bottom line with AI and automation solutions that fit feudal lords' needs, the brand owners' needs and wants. So what we do, we essentially, so this is the presentation that effectively you, Bruno, or if you wanted to use this presentation in a way to kind of, if let's say we get a customer and you wanted to explain to the customer what we offer, and you could use this presentation. I uploaded the video, YouTube video for this as well. And the same thing for you, Jackson, if you wanted to, let's say you're talking to somebody in a bar, maybe you are in the process of creating a video on YouTube and you quickly wanted to reference this video over here. And this is going to be quickly made available for you guys as well. It's going to be shareable with you, this video at the end of the presentation, but it kind of gives you a quick context to help you better understand what we're selling. So when somebody reaches out to you and says, Bruno, Jackson, what exactly are we selling? You pretty much tell them, look, here's what we do, and you show them this presentation. Of course, the most important part when communicating with the customer, you want to create the relationship, not necessarily go through the whole presentation. You always want to be asking, like pausing, having them ask questions, that kind of stuff. But the idea, the most important concept here is what we do when the customer asks something like, so what exactly do you do? And this is what you want to say. Well, what we do, we help small businesses assess their existing environment. We'll create a roadmap to improve their brand, and we provide the solution, quality assurance, and cost minimization. So those kind of like high level functions, what we offer. And what we do, we provide automations where we focus on low-hanging fruits. Our high priority goes to those low-hanging fruits where we figured out where we sit down with your talent, whatever the brand that you're building, whatever the products, program, or services that you're building. We sit down, we try to identify the tasks that are highly repetitive, and we automate them. And we follow the approach. We have customized framework for you. We create customized framework for your business, and we follow Freedom Fusion system best practices in solving your problems based on your budget. So we're friendly with the budget, and we provide continuous solutions based on the latest trends. So at the end of the day, we maximize your bottom line, save time, customize solution, and reduce costs. So that's kind of like the main thing that you want to show. And when somebody, as you presenting the presentation, what you want to do, Jackson and Bruno, like when you're talking to the customer, you want to, if they say, okay, well, what is the history behind your talent agency? What exactly do you do? What's your company structure? Can you please give us a little bit more context? Here's what you say. We are rooted in the community with over 100,000 side hustlers and over 100 coaches in the community named FUD. Our company is the first company in the world that was born directly inside of the community environment. And what we do, we have our own premium communities such as Freedom Fusion Land and Freedom Fusion Path. Freedom Fusion Land is community for feudal lords, brand owners, and it helps brand owners grow their brand and connect with talent. And it's hosted in Discord, and it includes Freedom Fusion Booster, a custom coaching. So it's basically a guide that shows brands for how to convert $1 into three, how to create TikTok shop, and how to expand their brand across multiple socials and get connected with other creators. So that's basically, think of Freedom Fusion Land as something that is for existing brand owners. And what our role of Freedom Fusion System company is to connect Freedom Fusion Land, the feudal lords, the brand owners that are trying to grow their brand. Our goal is to help them out and get them connected with people, side hustlers who are learning from feudal incubators inside of another community called Freedom Fusion Path. So Freedom Fusion Path and Freedom Fusion Land are two separate communities. And Jackson and you, Bruno, of course, Bruno, you're more on a AI automation side of things, and your role is mostly kind of being that AI automation feudal hustler, coaching moms over 40, showing them how to build automations, that kind of stuff, and showing them how to build talent agency. But for Jackson, the role is to sell all of those things, Freedom Fusion Land, Freedom Fusion Path, communities, and inside of each community, we have those. With Freedom Fusion Path, we have feudal incubators. So Freedom Fusion Path is community for side hustlers and moms. It's a free and premium type of community, sort of similar like FUD, except it's hosted on Discord. And what it allows you to do, each coaching program provides access to feudal hustlers, coaches like you, Bruno, who is teaching moms over 40 how to grow their brand, how to build their feudal kingdom, and either flip it or keep it in those Freedom Fusion flip workshops. And as you do so, you're doing those workshops on a consistent basis on Saturday or whatever the schedule that you decide to make them. And basically, what Jackson does, Jackson goes on YouTube. He talks about Freedom Fusion Land. He talks about Freedom Fusion Path. He talks about FUD. He talks about feudal incubators. He talks about the feudal system framework that everything is built on. And the goal here, and of course, we all get money. Anytime we get a new subscriber, anytime a new person comes into a community, either it's Freedom Fusion Land or Freedom Fusion Path, or if somebody subscribes into my FUD, we all benefit from that. We all get the feudal share. You guys get the feudal share. Jackson gets the feudal share for every person that he brings into the community. And when he goes live, he talks about those communities and how each of them have separate programs. So once again, Freedom Fusion Path is for side hustlers, moms trying to become bougie, not necessarily moms who are already bougie, but moms trying to become bougie. They're trying to discover freedom. They're not there yet. They're hoping to discover that freedom, but they need a little bit of help, encouragement, and support. It's sort of like FUD, except on FUD, This is where we curate people, create relationships with, and this gives an additional extra ammunition for Jackson to go ahead and talk about things like, hey, you know what, FUD is a community of over 100,000 side hustlers. This is where you could get access to ThreadStack, digital power bundle. This is where you get to create relationships. But by the way, if you want more accountability and support, then we do have those we have those separate communities called Freedom Fusion Land and Freedom Fusion Path. So your goal, Bruno, would be to obviously build those communities, automate them, and include all sorts of processes that makes it easy for feudal lords and side hustlers to connect together with one another. And you'll be doing that through the process of developing innovative solutions with tools like Threads Tracker, for example, one of them. And of course, we'll get more to the point uh, about Threads Tracker and other solutions. But the idea here is uh, any kind of mom, any kind of side hustler who joins any of those communities. So let's say if we have Jackson, let's say, starts talking about Freedom Fusion System and says, hey guys, look, I know you have many of your brands that you're trying to make money from. I know some of you are coaches, some of you have businesses. Well, guess what? We happen to have a solution for you. We figured out a way for how to help businesses grow more money. And to do that, we use innovative AI systems, automation systems, content creation, and all sorts of marketing techniques that can help you stand out in front of the competition. And so think of Freedom Fusion Land, think of FUD, think of Freedom Fusion Path as that extra piece of, it's like a toolkit. It's like a bunch of tools inside of a tool bag for all of us to use. And the feudal incubators, each feudal incubator helps members learn hybrid skills that are not taught in college. So feudal incubators are inside of Freedom Fusion Path community. Each feudal incubator offers pills of freedom powered by feudal army. So Bruno, you would be the person who is part of that feudal army in combination with other feudal hustlers who would be given opportunities to uh, coach other programs. So for you, Bruno, you're in charge of Freedom Fusion Track, Feudal Incubator. That's the one where you help moms over 40 learn how to build their own AI and automation agency. But it could also be not necessarily moms over 40, it could be also any other businesses who decide to jump into Freedom Fusion Track. And the same thing for you also have the responsibility for learning how to build, for showing moms over 40 how to build their own talent agency. Because so this way you're not just stuck only in AI automation, you literally becoming that feudal hustler who is leading moms to freedom and showing them how to interconnect both pieces, how to combine AI and talent agency parts of the puzzle together in what's called Freedom Fusion Track. So Freedom Fusion Track is that feudal incubator that's available in in Freedom Fusion Path community. And what Jackson does, he hyper focuses on all of those pieces in the toolkit and talks about them during YouTube videos when he's creating those videos and ingraining the concept of feudal system. Feudal system is what powers feudal incubators. Feudal system is what drives innovations. And of course, it helps moms learn how to build their own digital products, learns how to market those products across platforms, and learn how to be TikTok affiliate and create content, learn how to build your own AI. And this is all of those pieces are part of the feudal system framework. Feudal system framework is where you reflect, learn, execute, mentor, and squash atomic habits as you do so across platforms. So everything is rooted based on that feudal system. What we're doing, are we're basically putting this feudal system in practice into feudal incubators. So when people say, well, how do you put that feudal system? In theory, feudal system seems all good and great, but how do you put that in practice? And we tell them, well, in practice, we have all of those feudal incubators. And later on, we're going to be adding additional feudal incubators like in cybersecurity, in robotics. But for now, those are the feudal incubators that we have. And that gives you approximate understanding what everything does. But the next thing here is if you look at the next slide, so we create every workflow for your business. What do other companies need and why they use Freedom Fusion expertise? So when you're talking to businesses, Jackson, you want to be, they may be asking questions. Well, what can you do? What are your services? What exactly do you offer? And you could take them to this slide and say, well, we provide focused consultative approach with automation, UGC, AI, and cost saving for while leveraging offshore and onshore resources. So they may say, well, what does that mean? And you tell them, look, we understand that businesses have lots of expenses. We understand that uh, businesses have their own roadmap and trying to grow their products. What we focus on is all sorts of small business owner needs. That includes business integrations, unified workflows, single pane of glass. For example, tools like Threads Tracker is what is an example of our unified single pane of glass solution, nurturing campaigns for your clients, building social presence, content creation, content distribution. So if somebody says, what exactly do you offer? You tell them this is exactly what we offer. And of course, if they want more clarification, you take them to this page and you say, here's our overview of our services. We provide custom automations. We do website building, chatbots, integration with high level, all hosted on our account or on your account. We provide social media growth, where we grow your own social media integrations, where we grow on Threads, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, all those different platforms. We combine your own knowledge base together with the social media growth expertise. We combine funnels, we create email nurturing campaigns, we link everything to go high level. So this way you have a single centralized pane of glass, everything in one place. So this way you don't lose any of your leads and stay in control of those leads. And of course, we do digital product building where we help brands learn how to build your own digital product. Uh, how we literally take them through entire life cycle for doing this complete digital product build out. And of course, that's where Threads Stack comes into play. So if somebody says, well, what do you mean? How exactly are you building digital product? You tell them, well, you could learn, jump into Thread Stack Digital Power Bundle. It's available on FUD. DM the word path on my Insta and give them the buy link, and that's how they're gonna be funneled. Now, of course, when you're funneling them, Jackson, you want to be asking them, you want to be telling them, hey, look, if you really wanted to have more accountability and support, and if you wanted to have uh, go beyond digital products, if you wanted to help us, if you want us, Freedom Fusion System Talent Agency, to help you put all of those systems together, to combine all of those digital products together in a way that helps you make more sales, then book a call with us. And that's where you're gonna take them to Freedom Fusion System and tell them to fill out intro form, pick Jackson name from the sales form, and that's how we're gonna know that you referred them. That's how you're gonna get credit. So if they become our customer, and out of a sudden they say, well, yeah, you know what, we want Freedom Fusion System to help us build digital product that can help us grow our brand further. We're willing to hire you guys. That's of course where we'll pull additional resources. This is where we build those digital products. We create social media campaigns and create all sorts of automations. We charge them on a monthly retainer, and we all make money in the process. So why? Because they're going to be paying us monthly to grow their pages. Bruno is actively working on one of the solutions now, ThreadsBot's SEO, and our internal in-house projects for growing some of those guides. And so we're going to be utilizing the same kind of a approach for product building, digital product building, as what we're doing for our in-house solutions. So anyway, and of course, we provide innovative solutions with seamless integrate migration to new workflow. So let's say if we get a luxury brand who says, you know what, I have a product, I have a robotic toy product that needs to be sold in front of thousands of people. What can you guys do for us? What kind of innovative solutions can you build for us that can help us simplify the process? And of course, this is where Bruno comes into play. This is where we're going to do a little bit of brainstorming, figure out a way for how to connect this brand together with a bunch of creators, figured out a way how to build a product that makes it easy for people, for example, using things like Model Context Protocol in combination with Claude Desktop to interface in a single chat and ask questions like, hey, here's a brand name, here's a bunch of creators. Can you connect? Can you show in front of that brand bunch of creators that are most compatible with this product? And that would be an innovative solution because people don't want to have that reputation. damaged from having the wrong creator associated with their brand. And where we come into play, we help those brands get connected with the trained site hustlers. We build them solutions that help them track leads, help them learn and understand what is working, which product is working, and which creator is the best creator for their particular product that they're focusing. So innovative solutions, think of them as like a rapid development with UGC and AI content creation. And Bruno is working currently right now on several projects ranging from ThreadsBots 3D, ThreadsBots Cartoon, and kind of building those automations. So this way, any kind of brand who reaches out to us and say, well, I want to get more leads, I want to get more customers. How are you planning on doing this? And that's where we're going to say, well, we have our tool like Threads Tracker. Let's go ahead and set you up with a bunch of virtual assistants who can be using that tool, Threads Tracker, and using bots that Bruno went ahead and built, like ThreadsBots 3D, ThreadsBots Cartoon. So this way, when you create any kind of videos, there's cartoons doubling down and explaining your products and services, that kind of stuff. So this way you stay ahead of the game. And of course, single pane of glass, as I mentioned, like things like Threads Tracker, for example, high-level CRM, RPA bots, automations, forecasting, anomaly detection, all of those innovative solutions. Is that something that we can provide? So when you start communicating that with customers, uh, just remember the fact that there's many pieces involved. Show them charts like this. So if they say, well, what kind of prescriptive automations do you guys offer? What kind of solutions do you offer? You show them this screenshot and say, well, here's what our Freedom Fusion system can do for small business companies. We can create custom dashboards for multiple departments. We could create custom-based reports and data analytics dashboards, create prescriptive automated recommendations that can help you save time, money, create custom AI models towards your business workflow to help you model the past data, the present data, the future data in context of your business value. And then you just kind of show that. And of course, when you're communicating with them, Jackson, what you want to do, you want to be of course, you want to be pacing yourself. Right now, I'm going super fast with you guys, but when you're talking to the customer, you really don't, your goal is not to get through the whole presentation. Your really goal is to create relationship. And of course, maybe, and in the process, show some of those kind of, slides like this. And but also remember who the customer is, what kind of industry they're in. So if you show something like this slide where you talk about automatic remediation, prescriptive analytics, in the back of your mind, think like who the customer is, if what kind of industry they're from. Let's say we're talking to a luxury brand owner who's a mom over 40 who has a factory in China, and she is looking for something like this, and you're showing this slide over here, then she would be interested in things like, what do you mean by predictive analytics? What do you mean by prescriptive analytics? What type of monitoring reporting? And that's when you want to show like, oh, okay, let me show you what I mean. Here's an example of Threads Tracker. And of course, Bruno behind the scenes would be working together with me to develop Threads Tracker further. And that, so in a way, kind of have to show actual projects and kind of talk to the audience in context of their brand, especially because in your case, Jackson, you're doing real estate. When you start talking to any kind of real estate investors, they're going to be asking questions. What kind of leads do you get? For example, look at this flow chart over here. Look at this slide over here. This slide shows what we offer is small business leads nurturing in single pane of glass. How does that look like? So let's say you're talking to real estate investment company and they say, well, what do you mean by single pane of glass, and what do you mean you could help us get leads? Then of course this is when you want to turn on your real estate knowledge and immediately start thinking about buyers and sellers and how real estate investors trying to get very good deals. So this is where you kind of more prepared and um, talk more about their business in context of showing this particular slide. So in this case, what the solution shows for what Freedom Fusion system can do for you, we can work with company's marketing team to improve users intake process. So what does that mean? That means, for example, let's say you're talking to a real estate investment company and you're trying to sell Freedom Fusion system to them, and you are reading this slide, and what does improve user intakes process mean? You quickly tell them, well, let's say you have a bunch of leads coming in your way into your Go high level CRM. Why? Because we managed to help you set it up. We managed to help you set up entire Fit Infusion system CRM, which is run on high level to help you get those leads. And let's say now you're getting those leads. Let's say now you're getting people who wants to buy, who wants to sell a house to you, and you're a real estate investor. Your bread and butter is money that you get from sellers after flipping, like from buyers after you flipping the house, or your bread and butter is when you connect, when you become that broker, the transaction coordinator, the brain behind the transaction. You get the money when you find a good deal. And how do the good deals come to you? They come to you through this user's intake process. From where? From search engine optimization processes that we instill into solutions where, for example, we could create a website and Bruno can set up ThreadSpot's SEO to create dynamic processes that will constantly refresh, for example, real estate WordPress site, and people, sellers who are trying to sell a house, for example, would come in and they would be like, oh, yeah, I'm interested in this real estate investor services. I wanna sell my house. Let me go ahead and reach out and see how much money I could get. So that would be an example of improving users' intakes process. So the idea here is you really want to be kind of hyper focusing on whatever it is that whatever it is their business is, and talking about it to them in context of all of those bullet points. Now, the best way for you to do this, Jackson, is, and of course for Bruno as well, to kind of understand what is happening. The best way for you to do this, if you're not sure what to say or how to say it to a particular customer. So let's say you found somebody in the bar. Let's say you found you sipping beers, communicating, being friendly person that you are, Jackson, and found somebody in the bar, and that person is a real estate investor, and you say, hey, you know what? I know you probably like trying to get deals and whatnot, but have you ever considered using some AI content-driven automations to maximize your chances of getting deals? And that person like, oh, never, no, I haven't really thought about it. I didn't really put much thought. I'm super busy. And then what you do, you while sipping beers, you say, hey, how would you like to, I am part of the company called Fit Infusion System. We work together internationally. It's an international talent agency rooted based on real estate investment field. Heck, here's another website, one of our websites, fitinfusionproperties.com. Take a look about what we do. We truly help real estate investors grow their leads. So this way you make more money, get more sales, get more under market properties, and kind of lead the conversation from the industry standpoint, and then gradually drive the nail in the coffin into those bullet points that you see over here. So guys, this is the top tier level training. I'm utilizing the same type of training that I leveraged from while doing some consulting for big banks like JP Morgan Chase and many other banks, where I would come down, sit in front of 20 people and do the same exact type of pitch, but in context of all of their systems, the same kind of way how I'm presenting this in front of you guys. This is a top level training, guys, that you're getting at this point. Simultaneously, Bruno, you're learning from exactly what we're trying to sell, and uh, Jackson is learning how to like apply all of those presentations and have all those tools in front of him. So this way, Jackson becomes like a superhero in front of all the customers, and driving the nails in the coffin. Because at the end of the day, guys, all of those technologies, they constantly change, but the processes and workflows, uh, and of course, processes may be also change, but like the overall frameworks for how things done, they never change. It's basically kind of the same exact thing, where brands need talent, they want work done, they want to sell, they want to make more money, they want to sell more products, programs or services. So where we come in, we help those brands grow their feudal kingdom further. So, and of course, we provide different types of training and support, and we help with any kind of, for example, if let's say you're communicating with them and they say, well, tell us a little bit more about your frameworks. What exactly, how does your service work? Where do you start? This is what you want to say. You want to come back and you want to say, well, you know what, we help you identify your existing workflows, what can be improved. We provide feedback. We initiate, plan, and discover the right solution. We execute projects with framework execution in mind. We have created several frameworks already that we use, including our feudal system framework that our entire talent agency is rooted on. We have different types of frameworks that will that can be morphed together for your business to help your business grow. And also we help you train by training your employees. And to elevate your employees further, we use different types of feudal incubators. The same feudal incubators where we trained side hustlers, all sorts of hybrid skills that are not taught in college. So, and to help save time for small businesses, what we do, and and as a matter of fact, here's what I should have done before. I should have done this before continuing with this thing. There's a option called laser point. So laser point, I should have done that in the beginning. So when you present stuff, you use laser point, Jackson, okay? Use the laser point, it will elevate your presentation skills exponentially. So now, so the idea is you want to show all of those things. Like we create customized training for your workflow. We create customized automations. We create AI generated content funnel for inbound lead systemized workflows. And we provide all sorts of value-driven propositions where any content that needs elevation, we help you get that content elevated based on your audience, based on your business needs. And what we do, we strategically implement AI automation solutions to fit your small business needs, maximizing your bottom line and saving time. So that, and then of course, some of them, at some point, you're going to get to this slide where they say, well, why Fit Infusion System as your technology partner and talent agency? This is what you want to say. You want to say our origins come from mom luxury brand focused. We're a young company, yet built on decades of experience. We're agile, modernized based on latest AI, UGC, and automation trends. We're community driven. Uh, Join our AI live workshops like the ones that Bruno does. Um, and of course, if somebody says, well, which workshops do you offer? You want to say, DM the word workshop on the Insta. You could get access to Insta on bio.link/Fit Infusion System and join our Fit Infusion Flip workshops that Bruno runs on a regular basis. This is where you learn how to grow your feudal kingdom and either keep it or flip it. This is where you learn how to flip websites, how to use AI, how to use all sorts of, how to build your own AI talent agency, how to build all sorts of automations using N8N, and of course, people can join. And this is what you want to be telling them, Jackson. You want to be leading them to those workshops that Bruno is running. Why? Because at the end of the day, when Bruno is going to be communicating in those workshops, he's going to be explaining more and more details about all sorts of services that we offer. And as a result of that, if we end up converting somebody from those workshops, then obviously you get the actual credit for referring that person. So it's going to be in your interest to refer to those workshops. But when you're referring people, just tell them, hey, if you do decide to get access to Fit Infusion System, let Bruno know the coupon code that you're going to provide to them, or just take them to the intro site where they go to fitinfusionsystem.com and fill out the form, what they need, and fill out the fact that they talk to Jackson, and they could select Jackson from the form. So, but ideally, when you're communicating with them and creating relationships and sending them to the workshops, always give them incentives and tell them, look, if you do decide to join, we have those fire workshops. They're amazing. If you do decide to get either Fit Infusion System, CRM, or if you decide to join coaching programs, whatever the case may be, I want to give you a coupon code for yourself, so this way you can get some discount. So this way, they're not just going to go ahead and um, like register. And of course, we also ask when somebody register for any kind of feudal incubators, we've asked in a form who referred you. If they don't specify who referred you, they don't get that discount. And we verify that code that they provide, that it is indeed your code, your own code. And this is maybe something that Bruno can help with, facilitating this particular kind of verification process where You get a coupon code, maybe a QR code kind of thing. You could create QR codes directly inside of Freedom Fusion system, Jackson. So maybe this is something you want to talk to Bruno about to see how to facilitate this kind of interaction. For now, we have an automation that when sometimes anybody books a call uh, from IntroCall and specifies what they're trying to get to, they specify your name, Jackson. And when they do, you get notification saying, hey, there's a lead that came in. We are scheduling a meeting with that lead. And if that lead gets onboarded and you make money, of course, and that lead goes through the process of paying us money for either Freedom Fusion Systems CRM or any other Freedom Fusion automations, whether it's personalized or non-personalized automations, you'll get that credit, you'll get that commission for referring the person. Now, of course, also what you want to be doing on this slide, you want to be talking about talent agency focused. We recruit or create top talent for business brand owners. And this is our like main primary thing. They will say, well, how do you do that? You talk, and that's when you start talking about feudal incubators. We have Freedom Fusion Path, we have Freedom Fusion Land communities. We train side hustlers. We connect brands together with talent, that kind of stuff. And of course, if they do decide to join our community, like Freedom Fusion Land, and for example, and because they wanted to learn how to become let's say it's a brand who doesn't have, let's say, a TikTok shop seller account, but they want to become a TikTok shop seller. They want to join Freedom Fusion Land community. They want to learn from feudal hustlers. They want to convert $1 into three. They want to connect with other side hustlers. So let's say they joined. What's next? At that point, you get that commission. Get commission. Why? Because you referred them to Freedom Fusion Land. So the same goes for Freedom Fusion Path. And of course, when people talk, when you explain this part, you literally say we're the first company born on FUD, powered by Feudal System, first in a world platform independent framework. We're offshore and onshore AI UGC automation company. We've been approached to being featured in top 25 female entrepreneurs to follow. I forgot to include top New York female entrepreneurs to follow magazine. Well, Pepsi billion-dollar company created a drink called Freedom Fusion after our company's name, Summer 2024 edition. Since company is built in community settings, it's a lot easier for us to get that additional resources in case if your small business needs extra help versus traditional route of seeking candidates. So basically, those are the main key points here. And of course, you want to be like there's a lot more over here that you want to be focusing, and you want to be clicking on those links and showing them exactly like what's going on when you, for example, if you click on Threads Booster, it will show you the sales page of what this product is. If they end up getting Threads Booster, you also get the commission. Just make sure you tell them to Threads Booster comes part of Thread Stack. So Thread Stack is $14.99. So we want to be constantly staying within that price for Thread Stack. It's a low ticket offer, and of course you get the commission from that as well if you refer uh, people to Thread Stack. And part of Thread Stack, there's Threads Booster, and of course Threads Booster has its own benefits, and you could talk about those benefits over here when you're talking about it. But remember, the key is to talk about whatever is most relevant for that particular person that you're talking to. So let's say if you're talking to a brand who is not really interested in Threads Booster, then they're just kind of interested in growing in Freedom Fusion System CRM. They're not really interested about Thread Stack. They just want to have fully blown Go high level setup with all sorts of automations. Then, of course, you don't talk about any of those other things. But if, let's say, if you're showing that to a mom who is trying to get through and trying to make more products, you show them all those other slides. And of course, you want to show those things over here. Like the obvious question is going to be, let's say I'm a business, I'm interested in Freedom Fusion System. What's my next step? Well, the next step is what you want to find out from them is, do they want to learn or do they want to earn? That's the question. Learn or earn? Or do they want to learn and earn? And those are the three things you need to find out from them. Maybe they don't care about community. Maybe they don't care about joining any workshops. Maybe they just say, look, here's our problem. what can you go ahead and automate this for us, wipe code it for us, do whatever you want to do, but provide this automation for us that solves this problem. We don't care, we will pay you, right? We don't care about any of those other things, communities or any of that stuff, right? So kind of make that determination when communicating with the customer for what they're looking for. Now, in case if they're not sure, they're on the edge, they're trying to figure it out if this is something truly for them, if they're trying to learn more about AI, they're trying to figure out how to use AI and automations together, then tell them your next step is to do the following. Join our AI automation live workshops on FUD as step one. Subscribe to free AI automation guide as step two. And step three, learn from free of charge and automate your own business in this Freedom Fusion Flip workshops. This is where Bruno comes into play. And so this way, Bruno has an opportunity to upsell whatever it is that we're selling, which is a lot of different things: Feudal Incubators, Feudal Kingdom Academy, Freedom Fusion System, CRM, Thread Stack. And inside of Thread Stack, there's different guides as well. Like there's different tools inside of Thread Stack, like Threads Tracker, for example. The idea for you is to kind of use the right tool in the right moment in front of the right customer. And of course, that's what Threads Tracker also helps with as well. And there's a set video for Threads Tracker, guys. Definitely take a look at that video. And I'm going to be sharing GitHub library with Bruno for expanding Threads Tracker and making it um, more. We need to finalize it. I created like a first version of it, but we want to include all the other pieces. It basically makes it possible for moms to track other bougie boss moms, to track their habits, it provides automatic pitch, what you're supposed to say when you communicate with a certain mom. And what we want to do, we want to expand it in a way where it automatically prescribes threads, which threads to refer moms to, and have it all in a single pane of glass with things like Gemini CLI and GitHub Copilot and Cloud Code. And of course, for that's a separate topic, but I quickly wanted to bring that in, guys, so this way you understand that this is all interconnected. And keep something in mind, we're not necessarily in business of just creating digital products. We're in the business of helping moms over 40 make more money. That's basically that's the core model. Which moms? Luxury moms, the types of moms who are bougie boss moms. Now, if somebody is not bougie yet, is not if they're not making, let's say, 5, 10, 30, 40, 50K per month. That doesn't mean that we can't help them. We could still help them to become bougie. But in such case, what you want to do, Jackson, you want to be referring such moms into our feudal incubators. This is where they get to learn how to become bougie. They get to learn how to build their own websites, how to flip those websites, build their own feudal kingdoms and grow those feudal kingdoms and either flip it or keep it. And that's where Freedom Fusion Flip workshop comes into place. So when you're communicating with people and creating your YouTube videos, you want to tell them, hey guys, look, I know many of you are trying to build brands. I know many of you are trying to make extra income. We happen to be offering free workshops called Freedom Fusion Flip workshops, specifically for any kind of moms or any kind of businesses seeking to learn how to build businesses from scratch and flip them or keep them like this. So, and of course, when you refer to the word businesses, you use the word feudal kingdom. So that's kind of the main thing here. And when people join this, when you're telling them to join, you're telling them you want to say something like this: DM the word workshop on my Insta. Here's the link. Here's the link, bio.link / Freedom Fusion System. You want to give it to them. So when they DM the word workshop, what we want to do, you also want to tell them and use my Jackson code and give them the code. So this is the part that you want to work together with Bruno to figure out how this automation is going to come in when they DM the word workshop on Go High Level. How that's going to um, factor your code in to just make sure that you get that credit, that it was really you that referred the person. Your other alternative could be sending them to your own freedomfusionsystem.com / Jackson page. And from there, including some information about those Freedom Fusion Flip workshops, and then clicking on that workshop. That's how we're gonna, that could be another way of doing that. But whatever you decide to do, just make sure that it's easy to understand. Run it by Bruno. try to get it all working and test it, guys. You both have access into Freedom Fusion system. This is something that we're working actually for you, Jackson, to get you access into Freedom Fusion system, into app.freedom fusion system. But hopefully that gives you enough context. But when you're telling all of them like how to start, you tell them this is how you start. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they say, well, I don't care about Freedom Fusion Flip workshops. I don't care about community. I don't care about any of that. I just want solution. Then what you do, you tell them, okay, go to freedomfusionsystem.com, fill out the intro form, say what you need, and book a call. Free 30 minutes introductory call. And just make sure you specify Jackson. And also, because this way you're going to get that discount code, and also give them your Jackson code as well to use. And this is something, once again, Bruno is gonna make it work in a form when you fill it out to include extra codes so they know. So when they select Jackson, we know for a fact that you spoke with them, because they could just select Jackson without putting in a code. But we want to make sure that you truly communicated with them, you talk to them, so this way you get the credit. So now the next thing is uh, so there's many other things in the slide that I'm not going to cover, but the idea here is you want to take them through this service, like through a couple of slides that you feel that are relevant, sometimes accelerating um, the pace when communicating with them, sometimes slowing it down, depending on conversations, depending what they're looking for. You could show them this page if you wanted to kind of, if they say, well, what is your service delivery lifecycle? How do you work with the customer? Like, can you explain how exactly do you work with the customer? And you could say, well, here's our initiation phase 1. We do assessment, gap analysis, we do cost optimization, service design, service transition. That's happening in phase 1. Phase 2, we do content generation, AI UGC automation systemization, lead generation, and proposal for new business based systems based on priorities. And phase 3, we do service operations phase, which is incident and problem management, maintenance of automated solution, reinforced training, consulting, recruitment, and support. So this is when they look at this, they're gonna be like, oh wow, those guys are professional. Like, man, I want to be getting that service from that talent agency. Those guys are pretty good. But your goal is to kind of explain to them what each of those phases means in when you initially talking to them. But through when they go through onboarding process, this is where we're gonna have to work together, me and Bruno, to figure out all those steps in more details and construct more thorough plan. So in your case, Jackson, because you're interested only in referring people, not necessarily onboarding them, because I know you have college and everything, then of course you don't necessarily need to onboard them, but your commission will be a little less because of that reason, because you're not onboarding them. Now, of course, if at any given time you decide to say, hey, Rome, I'm actually, I actually want to earn extra, even more commission, and I do want to onboard them. Then, of course, we'll upgrade you to a next sales rep, to be an actual sales rep who is more than just a affiliate style sales rep, but an actual sales rep that onboards people, follows up with them every quarter with the customer to see if there's anything extra that they're needed, and of course, getting extra commission. But because in your case you want to focus more on your college, and of course you want to squeeze that in the process, and you want to squeeze that with your YouTube channel, because I know you love to play video games and you want to combine all this together. This is so I figured the best way for you is to just kind of start off with a simple referral process, still have access to Freedom Fusion System CRM, still be able to explain to them like what is going on, so this way they have the reason to purchase it. And then if they do decide, if one day you get super comfortable and say, Rome, you know what? I think I'm ready on onboarding people. Maybe my load freed up in college. I want to do more. Then, of course, I could upgrade you further to become that sales rep. So this way you get more money. Now, of course, in our case with Bruno, me and Bruno and other people who we're going to be working with down the road, we would need to take those steps over here and break them down. We would need to make sure that We have full project plan, full project scope. And for that, we're probably going to need a fire project manager. We may have to create even feudal incubator just for project management. So just to have somebody who can slice and dice those projects and give them pockets of opportunity to also teach other people, just like Bruno has those pockets of opportunity being the feudal hustler, teaching his feudal incubator, being in charge of that program, and for the next program managers. So guys, this is an enterprise level style of uh, kind of presentation. Don't get kind of too scared about it, like how formal it is and whatnot. It's just this is what people can understand. And you guys already know I'm a free-spirited kind of person. I just kind of do it. I just go with the flow, right? But this is if we want to succeed, if we want to make money together, right? This is the easiest way to succeed is to be very clear with our customers, with anybody who decides to join us. And this is the best way you could do that using presentation like this. And of course, here's an example of the type of audience that we target. And I think type one is probably missed somewhere. Here's a that type one comes in a bit later, but here's a if somebody says, what do we offer? Like, let's say people still didn't understand what exactly you were talking about, Jackson. Then you pull out this part over here, you use a laser point and you show something like this. This is your start, this is the end. And then here's what we do. We help you automate your business in any niche. Our core focus is luxury brand moms. But do we cover industries like real estate? Yeah, of course, we cover industries like real estate. So if you need any kind of automation and content and social media in real estate, yeah, we cover that as well. If it's HVAC or waterproofing, sure, we cover that as well. And some of those things, guys, it's something that I personally myself been doing. So it's no brainer for us to be offering those things in those niches because I have industry knowledge, expertise in those industries. So it becomes extremely easy for me to go ahead and help you guys out in terms of pitching, in terms of complementing your expertise with whatever we're trying to build in those niches. Do we need to be a super duper expert in those niches? No, not necessarily. You just need to be approximately good enough to relate to a customer about a specific niche. And I know that Jackson, he's passionate in Jackson, you're passionate in real estate, and I figured this is no-brainer for you to kind of expand in that direction as well. But don't be just hyper-focused only on real estate. Customer is a customer. If let's say a customer came into us who is a luxury brand mom who has her own factory in China and she wants help, she wants serious help, then of course you want to read up about it, about the factory, about what exactly she's trying to sell, and kind of pivot the solution in the direction of whatever it is that they're doing. And of course, what we do, we help moms automate their business to develop efficiencies. We enroll them into AI UGC automation solution. We help them save money with discount packages, and we help them get trained one-on-one. And this is where additional opportunities comes in for um, uh, Bruno and anybody else that is going to be working with us to get that additional training one-on-one. Now, that opportunity also exists for you, Jackson, as well. If you wanted to one day become the feudal hustler of, let's say, Freedom Fusion Pitch, because that's another feudal incubator that is part of our talent agency that helps people learn how to pitch, which is incredible skill, and you're already picking that skill up. And if you get to become that feudal hustler, teaching people how to pitch, then that's your opportunity to first of all get that training one-on-one, having your own feudal incubator, being part of the program, just like Bruno is part of Freedom Fusion Track. And of course, that's additional stream of revenue for you. Now, of course, there's part of it goes to Freedom Fusion system. The other part goes of the income that you get for training one-on-one goes to you. But at least doing this way, you kind of know that the reason whatever it is that you're doing now, you're getting that experience. By the way, guys, you're getting enterprise level experience. This experience almost impossible to get anywhere, like unless you working for like enterprise level company. the reason why, the reason why I'm making it so easy and easy for you to understand is because I already spun up a couple of enterprise level companies. Well, one of them was DBA Binary Fusion. This is the company that I ended up selling to a big consulting company. And I wanted to tell you that whatever you guys are getting now is kind of you seeing that knowledge coming from those experiences, from previous experiences that I had. And it's almost impossible for kind of see something like this on YouTube, because on YouTube you just kind of you watch things and it comes in into one ear, comes out of another ear, and you don't really deal with it. But over here, you are actually um, you're actually dealing with this stuff, guys. So the question is, how do we put this in action? How do we make money out of this? And the answer is just by sticking together, building together, and relying on our experiences. You could be, if they say, well, what kind of use cases can you show us? What kind of examples? What have you built before? Then here is an example of websites that you could offer to them. You may need to polish that presentation a little bit, Jackson. I'll share with you the PowerPoint presentation. But the idea here is you want to show some of those examples. You want to show a couple of those slides over here. And of course, when people say, well, what, so after watching all of this, what is our steps? You could tell them, well, here's a step one, free site to get started. So we could help you create a free site to get started. Decide step two, decide if you want more. Step three, high level setup fee. Step four, upkeep automation and continuous fee support. So the idea is once we set up those automations for whoever it is that wants them, we're going to be charging them money. And the question is, like, how much is that money? Okay. So the question is, and the answer is provided over here. And I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'll show this. Let me finalize this a little bit. So Bruno and Jackson, if you want to take a look at this presentation, it's available on YouTube. If you want to review that, but get together with Jackson and try to see if you could help him figure out how to set up email. And also, so this way Jackson has the email going and everything up and running. But that's about it, guys. This presentation is not fully finished. Here's some price factors you want to take a look. And of course, guys, what we want to do, we want to, here's some more use cases. Go through all those examples, guys. You're going to see this presentation available on YouTube. But let's try to and take a look at some other slides. But let's try to continue this, guys, a bit later because something did come up. But yeah, Bruno, see if you could work together with Jackson to set this up to help him with getting access into app.Freedom Fusion System and into Outlook. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going and I'll see you next time.